Hey guys, I wanted to talk about two movies that I saw recently. One is the new Transformers movie, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, and another is Public Enemies. I'll talk about Transformers first. I saw that 2 weeks ago. A lot of you guys have been talking about it. Obviously, most of you that are watching this video, you've either already seen Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, or you don't plan on seeing it at all. So, there's not really much point to me going into too much detail about it because you've probably seen the movie. And I really don't want to do a review because, like I said, most of you have seen it, you already formed your own opinions, or you've made up your mind that you're not seeing it for whatever reason. But I did want to address a lot of the reviews on this. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is getting very poor reviews. Of course, it's making a whole lot of money, but it's getting poor reviews. Now, this could go one of two ways. It could be one of those movies that is truly critic-proof, where it doesn't matter how bad people talk about it, how much Roger Ebert complains about it, how many thumbs down and 1 stars and 20% on Rotten Tomatoes and all that shit, that it's going to make a load of money, sell a load of toys, and there'll be more Transformers movies. Or this could be something that kills the franchise. Now, if you don't believe that bad reviews can kill a franchise, even if the movie is doing well in the box office, I want to direct you to a movie called Batman and Robin. Now, we all know that Batman and Robin was absolutely terrible. Everybody that saw it pretty much hated it, very few exceptions, got terrible reviews. But what people tend to forget is that Batman and Robin was a highly successful film that made a lot of money. Even though people hated it, they still went to see it. But the negative word of mouth made Warner Brothers say this could affect our next movie if we continue in this direction, and they were already planning on continuing in that direction. So they stopped. They killed off the franchise. They waited a couple of years, and then they brought it back with Batman Begins, which was a lot better. Can that happen to Transformers? I think it absolutely can happen to Transformers. So I think that it's interesting that it's getting such bad reviews, and I think that has to be addressed. Personally, I like the film. Now, according to Roger Ebert, who I think needs to get his head straightened on a little tighter, I don't know, maybe the cancer is messing with his brain or something, that means that I am not sufficiently evolved. That's his exact words. Basically, what he's saying is that it's a stupid movie that only stupid people like. Well, Roger, I'm not stupid, and I liked it. Now, while I will agree with one thing, it was a stupid movie. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't entertaining. While it's true that movies can be a form of art, they can also be a form of entertainment. Actually, they're supposed to kind of be both. This movie was very entertaining, even though pretty much all the things that the critics are saying about it is true. Yeah, it's pretty dumb, but so is the first Transformers movie. When you really stop and think about it, there's nothing that people are saying about this movie that wasn't already said about the first movie. It's probably bigger and dumber, but for some people these are selling points. Now, when I go to Transformers, I'm not exactly expecting high art. I'm not expecting it to be Gran Torino. And the reason is because this is based on toys. It's not even based on like a TV show or a comic book or anything. Yeah, there were TV shows and there were comic books, but they were based on the toys. And it even says, based on the action figures by Hasbro. That's absolutely nuts that they're doing that, but hey, it's fun. When you go to a Transformers movie, you want to see robots blowing shit up, and that's exactly what you get. Now, while I will agree that there were issues with the humor, some of it was so dumb that it was a little bit like cringeworthy, but then there were parts that were absolutely funny. And by the way, I don't think that Skids and what was the other one's name? The two twins. I don't think that they were racist. I don't understand. I think that's just, Reverend Al Sharpton shooting off his dumbass mouth. Just ignore that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like I said, you've probably already seen Transformers. Now, I know some people have enjoyed it immensely. My friend Joe has seen it 5 times last time I talked to him, which was a couple of days ago, so he's probably seen it 6, 7 times now. The guy's obsessed. I mean, I asked him, are you embarrassed? Do you go to the movie theater and they're like, "You again?" He goes to different movie theaters because he knows that, as he put it, this is not normal behavior. Nothing that any critic is going to say is going to stop people from seeing Transformers, but I wonder that if people don't take a look at it and decide for themselves how good or bad it is, that it may kill off the franchise. I think it's better than what most of the reviews are saying. It's getting a 20% at Rotten Tomatoes. I thought that should be more like 40-50%. That's still not very good, but I think that's probably more reflecting the public view on this. So, and I think it's pretty unprofessional of Roger Ebert to basically say that anyone who likes the movie is a stupid son of a bitch, because I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was fun. It was a little bit long, and it had some parts with the cameras that were making me absolutely dizzy, but other than that, I enjoyed it. Public Enemies, I also had issues with the camera in Public Enemies, and I want to point this out right away. Apparently, most of this film, if not all of it, was done with handheld digital cameras, and I expect more from Michael Mann, who is a director that I respect greatly, and I'll pretty much go to see any movie that Michael Mann is doing. Disappointing in terms of the cinematography. The cinematography was terrible. There was a lot of shaky cam stuff. Now, I am not one of those assholes who's like, "Oh god, I hate the shaky cam," like Batman Begins, like I can hardly tell what was going on. Cha. No. I think that the shaky cam thing works just fine for action scenes. But if you have scenes with just people walking down a hallway or getting into a car or just standing there talking, the thing shouldn't be like wiggling around and shit. It makes you dizzy. It's fucking annoying. That being said, Public Enemies was a pretty good film. I would say that it started off weak, and then it got stronger and stronger and stronger, and then it ended in a very strong note. If you know the story of John Dillinger, you really already know what happened. I mean, it's a part of history, and they make it fairly accurate. I mean, they change a couple of things around, but it's pretty accurate. I think that the one big thing is that the acting. That's what you go to this to see. You got Christian Bale and you got Johnny Depp. Two of the most high-profile actors out there right now. And I think this movie is worth seeing. Just bring some Dramamine, you know? Also, one last thing. Don't fucking talk during the movie. Could you shut the fuck up? Seriously. There was this one shit farmer who was like 2 rows behind me and then off to the left who would not shut the fuck up. Not only talking, but just like belching loudly and being an obnoxious, rude jackass. I eventually had to get up out of my seat towards the end of the film, I might add you, and go and complain to the manager to have them remove this ass hump. And I missed part of the movie. I missed a big part of the movie, the final shootout scene. I mean, I know what happens, and I got back just in time for the ending. I wound up getting a free pass because of this, but I don't want to have to get up during the end of the movie just to fucking tell on you. Grow the fuck up, asshole. That being said, I think that Public Enemies was very good. I think the acting was top-notch. I think that the film generally looked good. I like the use of certain colors in it. And the story, like I said, it's a part of history. They did just the right amount of dramatization to make it interesting without making it fictional. My only issue with it was the cinematography. It was laughably bad. And I expect more from director Michael Mann, who otherwise did an admirable job. So that's highly recommended. So, that's it. I just wanted to talk about those 2 movies. I want to talk about, not really so much, review the movies as to talk about my experiences around them. Although I did kind of review Public Enemies there. So, see you guys next time.